An officer turns on the camera and catches the exact moment two individuals on a Honda New Titan get nervous at the sight of the police unit. And we all know what that means. Without hesitation, they run a red light and take off. The officers go after them on their BMW 85 OGS. Now the question is clear. What can that humble Titan do against two German beasts? The fugitive tries to throw the officer off by swerving the bike toward him. They're riding at the limit, and a crash could happen any second. They nearly collide with another motorcyclist. Over the radio, the second officer reports they're setting up a perimeter. The chase gets more intense by the second. The rider gives everything he's got. He's pushing the Titan's single-cylinder 14-horsepower engine to its absolute limit. Everyone is playing with fire. Pay attention, because something is about to happen. Suddenly, the passenger throws himself off the moving bike. The second officer goes after him and manages to stop him. During the fall, the man sprains his ankle. Backup arrives and the officers report what happened along with a description of the driver who got away. They then run the Titan's details, and surprise, it was a stolen bike. The officer even attaches the original theft footage. The victim is going to be very relieved when they find out their bike has been recovered. Minutes later, they return to the spot where the passenger jumped. An ambulance is already treating him. A pretty ironic scene. They go out to steal and then need an ambulance when they get hurt. After receiving medical attention, the man is handed over to the authorities. The driver, however, managed to escape and was never found. The Honda Titan was finally returned to its rightful owner. It was his work tool, and thanks to the officers, he got it back. Officers are now behind another neighborhood rider on a Honda Titan. The man ignores the order to stop and takes off. This time he's trying to outrun 5 officers on Honda 300 rallies. The chase turns chaotic. At one point, 2 patrol bikes almost collide with each other. They finally manage to intercept him. The man wasn't armed, but he still ends up arrested. On another patrol, officers spot a group of motorcycles that speed up at the sight of them. The officer is visibly excited. Looks like he's going to enjoy this one. They're riding Yamaha XTZ Landers. One of the riders takes off on a Honda CG Titan. But he doesn't stand much of a chance against the officer's 250 cubic centimeter bikes. The chase goes on for several minutes until something unexpected happens. Suddenly, the rider comes to a dead stop. The reason is simple. His chain came off. With no way to keep running, the man gives up. The reason for the flight turns out to be pretty straightforward. The bike's paperwork wasn't up to date. He gets 2 fines and that's it.
Você ficou quanto tempo guardado? Um mês? Você ficou na onde? Jundiaí. Você só tem esse BO aí de menor, você não tem nada? Certeza? Você lembra sua matrícula? Você lembra sua matrícula? Tá com seu documento?
In the next case, an officer witnesses a robbery happening right on the street. A criminal mugs some pedestrians and flees on a Honda CG Titan. The police see the whole thing, and the chase begins. As we've seen many times on this channel, the Titan's engine is no match for the police's 300s. During the chase, he even clips a car's mirror as he passes. This is exactly why many units use the Honda XRE Rally. Its dual sport suspension lets them ride over uneven streets without losing speed. And then suddenly, the criminal loses control of the bike. He goes down and starts running on foot, but he doesn't get far.
A moto foi embarcada na Nossa, já sempre da Jardim. Para! Vai tentar auxiliar, levanta cá. Para! Deita! 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 Deita, mão na cabeça! Mão na cabeça!
The officers catch up and bring him down. Final result of the chase: one less criminal on the street, a firearm seized, a stolen bike recovered, and stolen watches and phones returned to their owners. In another pursuit, two individuals on a Honda Titan try to escape the police unit. Officers go after them on their 300 rallies. During the flight, they put several civilians at risk by riding on the sidewalk. The fugitives manage to pull ahead, but the officer grits his teeth and pushes his bike to the absolute limit. Then the inevitable happens. They try to escape through a narrow passage and crash straight into a wall. End of the chase. The rider is detained, but the passenger manages to get away. The bike is taken to the station, where upon reviewing the footage, they issue 17 separate fines. West side of São Paulo, Brazil, officers move in to support a chase against two individuals fleeing on a red Honda CB250 Twister after committing several robberies. Here they come. The action begins. The officer shifts gears using a particular technique without the clutch to keep one hand free for the radio without losing acceleration. They're riding Yamaha XTZ 250 landers and Honda 300 rallies. The bikes have similar power. This is going to be close. chase moves through several streets until something unexpected happens. The fugitives lose control and go down. Maybe some dirt on the asphalt made the rear wheel lose grip. Both of them take off running. One manages to slip away momentarily, but shortly after, another clip surfaces. He was caught. An off-duty officer heading to work spotted the situation and decided to follow him quietly. He waited for the right moment, and when the fugitive stopped, he moved in and took him down. By then, the suspect had already taken off his helmet and changed part of his clothing to throw off anyone following him.
Sendo conduzido à delegacia para os procedimentos cabidos pela.
We have reached the end of the video. Let us know in the comments the best part, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notification bell on so you don't miss any of our future videos.
Chega, já era.